the ultimate act of betrayal. Leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection, and lying in her own feces.
You meant to kill her?
I definitely meant to kill her.
Okay. It wasn't an accident?
No, not at all. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
To toss one's own child into a dumpster like trash is something that is an unforgivable event by any mother.
The ultimate act of betrayal, leaving you terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection. A judge's words echo the horror. From a mother's gruesome confession to a toddler's starvation and isolation. These true crime stories expose the darkest side of parenthood. This documentary delves into 3 chilling cases. Michelle Blair's freezer horrors in Michigan, Alexis Avila's dumpster abandonment in New Mexico, and Crystal Candelario's vacation betrayal in Ohio. From a mother admitting to torture to a newborn's miraculous survival and a child's agonizing death alone. These cases reveal the unimaginable pain of maternal murder. Join us as we confront. How does a mother turn killer? And can justice console the broken?
Everybody want to know, yes, I did kill her!
Michelle Blair, the freezer of horrors. I'm innocent. You're garbage. A mother's denial crumbles into a gruesome confession.
You meant to kill her?
I definitely meant to kill her. Okay. If I had a chance to do it again, I would.
What drove her to murder her own children? We begin in Detroit, Michigan, in 2014, where Michelle Blair, a 35-year-old mother of 4, became the center of one of the most horrifying child abuse cases in state history. Blair lived in a rundown apartment at the Martin Luther King Jr. homes in downtown Detroit with her children. Stoney Ann Blair, 13, Stephen Gage Berry, 9, and 2 younger ones, Gabby, 17, and Matthew, 8. For 2 years, she tortured and killed Stoney and Stephen, storing their bodies in a deep freezer in the living room. The surviving children, Gabby and Matthew, along with Blair, continued living in the apartment until an eviction crew discovered the freezer's contents on March 24, 2015. Blair was arrested and charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and first-degree child abuse, Michigan, Comp Laws Section 750.316. At a custody hearing for her surviving children on April 2, 2015, before Judge Matthew G. McGivney. She exploded at their fathers, Alexander J. Dorsey and Stephen Berry. Never. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all were never there for them. How many birthdays did you miss? You pathetic. He's a drunk. The judge attempted to intervene. This is a civil case, not a criminal case. We can do it without you, Blair raged on. I did it, but that does not negate that they were never there.
Never. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand the whole crew here now, but y'all was never there for them. How many birthdays did you miss? It's like a damn fool y'all putting on that show.
Do it without you.
I never tried to say I didn't. I did it, but that does not negate the fact that they were never there for their children. I had to struggle with them all the time. They were never there.
As she was removed, she admitted, "Everybody want to know? Yes, I did." Blair pleaded guilty to all charges on June 2, 2015, requesting life in prison. I'm freely giving myself and accepting life in prison. I'm happily saying life in prison. During her plea hearing before Judge Dana Hathaway, Blair detailed the horrors, believing Stoney and Stephen were demons, abusing her youngest, Matthew. For Stoney, I intentionally killed her. I punched her, put a bag over her head till she lost consciousness, threw scalding hot water on her, hit her head multiple times with a wooden stick. For Stephen, basically the same thing. I put a bag over his head, grabbed a belt, put it around his neck, lifted him up until he lost consciousness, punched him multiple times, burned him with scalding hot water.
Man, I don't regret none of this. I don't regret any of it. I don't feel no remorse for the death of them demons.
Autopsies confirmed multiple injuries, including burns and blunt trauma, with Stoney's death in May 2012 and Stephen's in August 2013. Judge Hathaway condemned her. As a mother, your primary responsibility was to protect your kids, and you failed in the worst possible way.
It's the greatest tragedy here is that they will never know what a life is like without experiencing fearing their mother.
On July 17, 2015, Blair was sentenced to life without parole for each murder, to run concurrently, Michigan. Comp Laws Section 750.316. Now 46, she serves at Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility. The case, covered by Detroit Free Press, WXYZ, and MLive, led to Michigan's 2016 child welfare reforms, with 1,200 abuse fatalities reported from 2010 to 2020. Michigan DHHS data. Gabby and Matthew were placed in foster care, bearing the trauma of their siblings' deaths. Alexis Avila, the dumpster baby. I put it in the bag. I took it to the car. I drove around and didn't know what to do, and I just put it in there. A teen's panic leads to unthinkable abandonment.
He was your baby, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
And you put him in a trash bag, didn't you?
What was shown today, yes.
How did a newborn survive the trash? Next, we journey to Hobbs, New Mexico, on January 7, 2022, where Alexis Avila, 18, gave birth alone in her apartment and threw her newborn son into a dumpster behind the Broadmoor shopping center. Surveillance footage captured Avila arriving in a white Volkswagen Jetta, grabbing a black trash bag from the back seat, and tossing it into the dumpster before driving away. Inside the bag, wrapped in a cold, wet towel with the umbilical cord still attached, was the baby boy, crying faintly in near-freezing 32 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. Hours later, at 8:30 p.m., 3 dumpster divers, Joseph Imbriale, April Meadows, and Michael Green, heard cries while scavenging. Meadows opened the bag and found the infant. He was whimpering, freezing to death. She cradled him, kissing his forehead, as they called 911. "We just found a baby in the trash. He's breathing, but his umbilical cord is still on." Paramedics rushed the child to Lee Regional Medical Center, where he was treated for hypothermia and stabilized. Named Saul by his family, he survived and now lives with his father, Stephen Astorga, and relatives in Hobbs. Avila was identified from the footage and arrested on January 8, 2022. During interrogation by Hobbs Police Detective Kristen Pierre-Felice, she confessed, "I put it in the bag. I drove around and didn't know what to do, and I just put it in there."
I put it in the bag. I took it to the car. When I was in the car, I had 2 trash bags.
She claimed panic after a surprise birth. "I found out I was pregnant yesterday because I heard it." But Astorga testified they knew for 8 months via a positive test in May 2021. Charged with attempted first-degree murder and child abuse resulting in great bodily harm, New Mexico statutes, Section 30-6-1. Avila's trial began April 10, 2023, before Judge William G. W. Shoebridge. She testified, "I was in shock. I don't remember." The prosecution, led by Assistant DA Sarah Horton, presented the footage. "This was your baby, and you put him in a trash bag." On April 14, 2023, the jury convicted Avila of child abuse but acquitted her of attempted murder. At sentencing on May 1, 2023, Avila apologized. "I regret depriving him of motherly love. His first hours were traumatic, and he'll always have this in his head. But I do love him." Astorga's family requested leniency, hoping Avila could one day meet Saul. Citing her youth and undiagnosed bipolar disorder, Judge Shoebridge suspended 2 years of the 18-year mandatory minimum, sentencing her to 16 years plus 2 years probation, NM Stat. Section 31-18-15. Now 21, Avila serves at Springer Correctional Center, eligible for parole in 2038. Covered by KRQE and KOAT, the case led to New Mexico's safe haven law expansion, with 10 baby boxes installed by 2025. Saul, now 3, thrives, a testament to survival.
A mother, she got a title that means something in this world.
She needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
Crystal Candelario, The Vacation Betrayal. The ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome imaginable, with no food, no water, no protection. A judge's fury condemns a mother.
The ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected.
What compels such unimaginable neglect? We conclude in Cleveland, Ohio, on June 16, 2023, where Crystal Candelario, 32, returned from a 10-day vacation to find her 16-month-old daughter, Jalen Candelario, dead in a playpen. From June 6 to June 16, 2023, Candelario left Jalen alone at their home on Lorraine Avenue and West 97th Street, with only a few bottles of milk, no diapers, and no supervision. She traveled to Detroit, Michigan and Puerto Rico, posting vacation photos on Facebook, while Ring doorbell footage captured Jalen's cries fading over 2 days. On June 16th, Candelario found Jalen unresponsive, extremely dehydrated, and covered in feces. Paramedics pronounced her dead from starvation and dehydration, classified as exsanguination due to neglect. Charged with aggravated murder, child endangerment, and death of a child. Ohio Revised Code, Section 2903.01. Candelario pleaded guilty on February 22, 2024, before Judge Brendan J. Sheehan, avoiding a trial. At sentencing on March 18, 2024, forensic pathologist Dr. Elizabeth Mooney testified, children aged 9 to 18 months experience extreme separation anxiety. Jalen endured unimaginable pain over days.
Upon review of medical records, this indicated approximately a 7-pound weight loss. The eyes were sunken, and she had temporal wasting in her face.
Prosecutor Michael C. O'Malley called it the ultimate act of betrayal.
This baby loved her mother, she needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
Candelario, through an interpreter, said, "I pray daily for forgiveness. I'm not trying to justify my actions." Judge Sheehan condemned her. You committed the ultimate betrayal, leaving Jalen terrified, alone, unprotected. This is one of the most disgusting trials I've sat through. She was sentenced to life without parole. Ohio Revised Code Section 2929.03. Now 34. Candelario serves at Ohio Reformatory for Women. The case, reported by WKYC and WEWS, prompted Cuyahoga County to review child welfare protocols, with 1,500 neglect cases reported in 2023, Ohio DHHS data. Jalen's family grieves, her death a stark warning of neglect's toll. These 3 stories, Blair's freezer, Avila's dumpster, Candelario's abandonment, expose the depths of maternal murder. From torture to neglect, what breaks a mother's bond? Can justice console the innocent? If you or someone needs help, call 988, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or 1-800-799-7233, National Domestic Violence Hotline. Share your thoughts below, and stay tuned for more true crime stories that probe the heart of justice.